everyone!
And we got a special treat for all of you because we're finally complete yet again. Mo's no longer busy, so welcome to the show. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Hello there, beautiful people! I'm Anne Asis-Carilo, TGIF. We are here to bring you good vibes and unstoppable energy and the best company.
Happy Friday! I'm Monique Tuzon. I hope you'll miss me as much as Paolo did. Anytime's a good time because it's always more fun with us. Join us for the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter.
But we had fun, you know.
Fun.
Kahit wala ka.
Okay,
Just
I believe
like,
that.
no, just like we had fun nung wala si Anne.
Wow, that was the longest silence on the show.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, okay.
Come on, let's see Anne.
No, but how was Korea? You came from Korea. And,
Yes.
and lahat ng mga post mo pagkain.
Yeah, I literally went there just to eat.
There's nothing else to do anyway.
There's a lot to do in Korea.
But you didn't have enough time.
But I didn't have enough time because I was only
Yeah.
there
No,
like a day and a
to be
half.
fair, yan lang naman yung goal mo eh.
Yeah, I
kumain
only went there for K-barbecue and tteokbokki, and I accomplished that. That's
But
why
Which is
Yeah,
I'm
also
so
available here in the Philippines.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
No,
iba
it's
doon,
different.
iba doon.
Let me
Yes,
tell
yes.
you, Korean meat, Korean pork, it's
No,
different.
pero
It was
Korean
so
street
good.
food din. Like, I'm
my
sure you
God.
went to Myeongdong.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I ate so much. That's why I'm so manas today, because I literally ate till I wanted to throw up. Because I'm like, I'm only in Korea for like 36 hours. I have to eat everything like every hour. So it was delicious. So
Exciting.
good.
I mean,
Diet na ako na.
Chicken and nag-chicken beer ka.
No, I didn't eat chicken beer, but I ate like some chicken thing on the street. And then they had like some popcorn shrimp with
Yeah.
coconut.
Yeah.
Oh my, it was
sounds good.
amazing.
Yeah.
But the tteokbokki and the Korean barbecue was the best.
I
and
love
whatever
tteokbokki.
like beef they had there and the rice, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, I like when I'm in Korea normally, I like yung mga buckwheat noodles, yung mga
Yeah, it was
their noodles are
delicious.
really good, jjajangmyeon and all of that. But yeah, anyway, so I'm
Wow,
hungry.
flex your Korean food knowledge nga.
No, but then it's important kasi look, I'm talking about Nutrition Month later din sa weather. And then we're talking a bit about that and also flood control sa Weather HQ kasi umuulan dito.
I know.
In general. And of course, we also have another guest here, Richard
We
Juan.
have a celebrity joining us later.
Yes, I know. We saw the setup in the makeup room. I said,
Yeah.
wow, he has the whole team here.
So
Yeah.
we got tapped
excited.
by Netflix to promote the latest season of Squid Games. So we'll be talking to him about that later.
Yeah, and
about
they're
his
promoting it
experience.
here
They
on the
actually
Philippines,
flew
I
him
think,
to
soon.
Seoul to join
Oh,
the
yeah.
launch party. So maybe later he'll
and
tell
playing
us
a
all
few
about
games also. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like super interesting, especially because Squid Games in general is such a big deal.
Squid
It's
Games
huge.
is so violent.
It's huge. And we talked about the flooding a while ago, and you gotta wonder whether na traffic magiging issue doon.
Wow, so smooth. I missed your
it. I
segues.
know, right?
Waiting for it.
But let's go check out the situation in major roads at this hour. Here is what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens, you're seeing the vehicles going to Quiapo. Moderate to heavy traffic already building up on that stretch. On the opposite lane, right side are vehicles going to Quezon Memorial Circle. Light to moderate traffic on that lane. Now this time, let's go take a look at EDSA White Plains. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. We got moderate traffic on that area. Opposite lane, still green and go at this hour. Those are the vehicles heading to Cubao. Now heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Friday, guys. So vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now on to our top stories this morning. Bilyonaryo and gaming tycoon Atong Ang, along with actress Gretchen Barreto, are tagged as suspects as the investigation into the missing Sabungeros continues to deepen. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla confirms the development after whistleblower Julie Dondon Patidongan alias Totoy tagged the two in his latest testimony.
Mapasama sila. Kasi nga, pinangalanan sila, then we will have to include them as suspects.
Ang has vehemently denied having any role in the disappearance of the cockfight enthusiasts. He dismissed Patidongan's allegations as baseless, saying the whistleblower himself is facing multiple criminal cases. Patidongan has yet to submit an official affidavit. His legal team says they're finalizing documents to make the case against Ang stronger.
Mag-isip ka doon. Kung ano man ang mga Huwag ka na magsinungaling. Tinuri kita parang anak ko eh. Hindi ko alam na ganyan kakasama. Pati ako, papatayin mo pa, kikidnapin mo pa ako.
A whistleblower in the missing Sabungeros case has identified businessman Atong Ang as the alleged mastermind behind the crimes. Speaking under the alias Totoy, Julie Dondon Patidongan claimed he witnessed the killings, said 20 police officers were complicit, and accused Ang of ordering his death for 50 million pesos. He also urged Gretchen Barreto, whom he says spent 24 hours with Ang, to cooperate with authorities.
Pakiusap ko kay Ma'am Gretchen, Ma'am, ngayon, makipagtulungan ka na lang sa akin. Tumayo ka na rin na bilang isang witness. Dahil alam mo naman lang mga pangyayari. Mr. Atong Ang masabi ko lang sa'yo, humarap ka. Dito natin makikita kung sino ba talaga sa atin dalawa nagsisinungaling.
Malacanang has stated that President Bongbong Marcos will not show favor to whoever is behind the case of the missing Sabungeros.
Sino man, anumang katayuan sa buhay, kung sila man ay personalidad na kinikilala, wala pong sisinuhin ang Pangulo at ang administrasyon. Kung may dapat na panugatan, dapat lamang pong maimbestigahan ng mabuti para mabigyan ng hustisya ang mga pamilya ng sinasabi nating missing Sabungeros.
The Pals has also denied any affiliation to the president to Julie Dondon Patindongan, the whistleblower known as alias Totoy, as it became known that Patindongan ran for mayor of Surigao del Sur under the Federal Party of the Philippines, the official party of the president.
Sa ngayon po, wala pa pong nakakarating sa atin patungkol sa ganyang issue. Hindi bali po, ipaparating po natin sa Pangulo para po maging aware din po siya.
In his interview with BNC, Patindongan said that he is still not under witness protection program. The decision on that lies with the Justice Department.
Some senators are now taking steps to crack down on online gaming or online gambling. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian has filed the Online Gambling Regulation Act, which seeks to impose stricter controls on e-gambling activities, including e-sabong. But a separate measure from Senator Pia Cayetano takes an even harder line. Under her proposal, users, advertisers, and payment platforms could all face jail time, not just for operating games, but even for promoting or playing them.
Former Senate President Mig Zubiri says he is dissatisfied with the current Senate leadership, warning against what he calls a dictatorial style of governance.
I don't want us to be similar to other chambers where it is only one emperor who dictates all the instructions to the members of the body. And if you ask me if I'm satisfied with the leadership of the Senate, I'm not satisfied with the leadership of the Senate. So I'm open to supporting other candidates for Senate presidency.
He and the veteran bloc are now backing former Senate President Tito Soto, citing his dedication and leadership during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the Duterte bloc, which consists of Senators Bato de la Rosa, Robin Padilla, Bongo, Amy Marcos, and Rodante Marcoleta, remains silent on who they will support for the Senate's top post in the 20th Congress.
A congressman is pushing to investigate Prime Water. A House resolution was filed Thursday, aiming to launch a probe into the irregularities in the service utility firm owned by the Villars. Prime Water earlier became the subject of complaints, especially during the midterm election campaign period when Camille Villar ran for the Senate. Over 40 district representatives are said to have already signified wanting to co-author the investigation.
Nararapat lamang na magkaroon ng investigasyon regarding sa kung ano yung mga nangyayari at para mabigyan naman ng hustisya rin yung mga naapektuhang mga mamamayan.
In world news, in a massive win for the U.S. President Donald Trump, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives narrowly approved the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. The tax cut legislation cleared its final hurdle in a 2018 to 2014 vote after an overnight standoff. Only 2 Republicans voted against. The 869-page bill will fund Trump's immigration crackdown, make his 2017 tax cuts permanent, and deliver new tax breaks for billionaires. It also cuts health and food safety net programs and zeroes out dozens of green energy incentives. It would also add $3.4 trillion to the United States national debt. The White House said Trump will sign it into law in time for July 4th, Independence Day holiday.
A big betrayal. That is what Democrats have to say about the passing of the controversial legislation seen as the biggest ever tax cut for billionaires. Former U.S. President Joe Biden called the budget bill, quote, not only reckless, but cruel. He wrote on X, it slashes Medicaid and takes away health care from millions of Americans. Working people deserve better. California Governor Gavin Newsom was also disappointed over what he calls is the ultimate betrayal. Meantime, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the bill the biggest money transfer in history and an immoral Robin Hood in reverse of bad economics.
Moving on to sports is the end of the road for Filipino tennis sensation Alex Ayala at Wimbledon. The new women's world number 54 and her doubles partner Eva Lies from Germany lost to the tandem of USA's Quinn Gleason and Brazil's Ingrid Martins in round 1. Ayala made the headlines in the singles tournament after putting up a valiant effort against a reigning Wimbledon queen Barbora Krejcikova in her main draw debut. Now in other news, Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is arrested days after fighting social media influencer Jake Paul in a high-profile bout. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security confirms Chavez, the son of Mexican boxing great Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., is now being processed for deportation. According to the DHS, the younger Chavez had an active arrest warrant in Mexico for supposed involvement in organized crime and trafficking firearms and explosives. They also claim he made multiple fraudulent statements on his application for U.S. permanent residency. But Chavez Jr.'s legal team calls the allegations, quote, outrageous, saying he was detained without warning outside his home. The arrest comes shortly after his loss to Jake Paul, who defeated him by unanimous decision in front of a sold-out crowd in Anaheim, California last month. Meanwhile, victory for Gilas Pilipinas women after a rocky start in the 2025 William Jones Cup in Taiwan. The women's national basketball team shut down Thailand Thursday in Taipei 83-66. Gilas women used a strong second-half surge to bounce back after losing to Chinese Taipei on Wednesday. Vanessa De Jesus top scores for the Philippines with 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, as well as a steal, while Jack Daniel Animam posted a double-double of 23 points and 14 rebounds. Up next for Gilas women is South Korea on Saturday, July the 5th. Meanwhile, the Philippines is set to host the FIBA Women's Asia Cup in 2027. The country's last hosted a continental event back in 2013 when Gilas Pilipinas men's scored a historic upset against South Korea to make it to the World Cup. And Filipino basketball star Kevin Kimbao is chasing the NBA dream. The former LaSalle King Archer is now in Sacramento, California to undergo personal training as he explores opportunities to join an NBA Summer League team. In an IG post, KQ expresses his gratitude to those who supported his journey. Should his NBA bid fall short, Kimbao is expected to return to the Goyang Sono Sky Gunners in the Korean Basketball League.
Now in entertainment, Neil Druckmann, creator of The Last of Us, has left production of the HBO series. The co-creator of the hit video game, who also helmed production of the HBO adaptation, has left before production begins on season 3. Druckmann said that now is the right time for him to shift his focus back to game developer Naughty Dog to write and direct their future projects.
A Filipino film just made waves halfway across the world, and it's all about our own waters. Food delivery fresh from the West Philippine Sea, a powerful documentary by Baby Ruth Villarama. took home the Tides of Change Award under the Best Festival category at the 2025 Dock Edge Festival in New Zealand. The film shines a spotlight on the valiant efforts of Filipino fishermen, Coast Guard, and Navy to deliver desperately needed food and aid to communities, all while defending their livelihoods and national sovereignty in the contested West Philippine Sea. Produced by Voyage Studios, the documentary had its world premiere in Auckland last June 30 as part of the Academy Award qualifying film fest. On their social media accounts, Voyage Studios said, and I quote, "The journey has just begun. May our people see our fight."
Now let's find out what the weather is going to be like this Friday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao Pao.
Thank you so much, Mo. Let's take a look at the local weather because as of 2 a.m. today, the low pressure area that we've been monitoring has intensified into a tropical depression. Now, Pag-asa has named this tropical depression Bising, and it was spotted around 200 kilometers west-northwest of Calayan in Cagayan. Now, it packs maximum winds of 45 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 55 kilometers per hour, moving southwest at around 20 kilometers per hour. Now, Bising is affecting northern Luzon, bringing rains and gusty winds over Ilocos Norte and the Babuyan Islands. Now, residents are urged to watch out for floods and landslides due to moderate to heavy rainfall. Scattered rains and thunderstorms are also expected over Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, Batanes, and mainland Cagayan. Tropical Depression Bising is expected to exit the Philippine area of responsibility today, but may re-enter and either affect the extreme northern Luzon or head toward southern Taiwan. Now, Pag-asa has raised signal number 1 over the western portion of Babuyan Islands and the northwestern portion of Ilocos Norte. Now, in these areas, there are a low to minor risk to life and property from strong winds. Now, aside from wind signal, the Pag-asa has also issued a heavy rainfall outlook due to Tropical Cyclone Bising. Now, today, heavy rains to intense rains are expected over in Ilocos Norte, while moderate to heavy rains are expected in Batanes, Cagayan, Apayao, Abra, and Kalinga. Tomorrow, Saturday, moderate to heavy rains will continue in Batanes, Cagayan, Apayao, and Ilocos Norte. And by Sunday, July 6, Batanes and the Babuyan Islands may experience heavy to intense rainfall at 100 to 200 millimeters, while Ilocos Norte may have moderate to heavy rains. Now, apart from Bising, the southwest monsoon is also influencing weather in central Luzon as well as southern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Now, all that will bring cloudy skies and scattered rains and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, the rest of the country can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Now, as for our sea conditions, take a look at the latest updates on our coastal waters. As of now, Pag-asa has not issued any gale warnings. However, with a tropical depression Bising, moderate to rough sea conditions are expected in northern Luzon with possible wave heights around 2.8 meters. In other parts of the country, you can expect light to moderate winds that are also anticipated, which may produce waves between 0.6 to 2.1 meters. Fisherfolk and marine travelers are advised to remain vigilant as combined effects from the LPA and the southwest monsoon could result in rougher sea conditions and higher waves. Always make safety a priority, especially when venturing out to sea. Now, due to the inclement weather conditions, several areas have announced the suspension of in-person classes for today, July 4, 2025. Now, all levels in public and private in Imus, Cavite, and Umigan in Pangasinan, Pozo Rubio in Pangasinan, Manawag, Pangasinan, Masantol, Pampanga, Candaba, Pampanga, Dinalupihan in Bataan, Orani in Bataan, La Paz, Tarlac, Ilocos Sur, Tagudin, Ilocos Sur, Sudipen in La Union. Now, no classes for specific levels, both public and private, in Dagupan City, Pangasinan, that's kinder to senior high school, Macabebe in Pampanga, grade school to high school, Hermosa in Bataan, preschool to senior high school, including ALS, Cavite Province, elementary to senior high school. Now, that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Girls, back to you.
Thanks so much for that weather update, Pao Pao. Now up ahead, now he just might bring smiles to your day. Besides Paolo, let's catch up with actor, host, advocate, entrepreneur, and chinito cutie Richard Juan after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Chinito problems, he's got them. So fine across the board, actor and host Richard Juan joins us live in the studio to talk about the latest and final season of crowd favorite Squid Game and more. Hi Richard, it's a beautiful day.
Yes, very beautiful day indeed. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thanks for coming. What was your reaction like to be part of the Squid Game universe? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, oh wow, don't even know where to start. So basically, I just came back from Korea 2 days ago, and I was very fortunate to be one of 110 creators that were flown to Korea to really experience all these crazy promotional stuff that they did. We were playing some Squid Game inspired games. There was the whole Giants replica of the, I mean, not spoiling it, but like there was a jump rope thing that we were doing also. We got to play the carousel, the one that go around.
Yeah.
So there was so much fun stuff like that. And most importantly, we got to meet the cast. There's some photos being shown right now. Yep, there we go. I was right in front of it. I was like, oh my God, this was something that was super unexpected. And here's the one where, that's the pink guard.
Yeah.
So I was recording, and I didn't expect her to like notice the camera, and then she came and made a little quirky look.
That's
and
cute.
It's super duper cute.
Cute.
It's actually going viral on TikTok right now. So
ganda.
grabe, like sobrang, this experience was something that I did not expect. It was jam-packed, full of fun, and most importantly, got to make a lot of friends from around the world too, and that's stuff that I like to do. So
We're happy you came out alive after playing all these games.
Oh my God, and it was, I mean, it's the heat in Korea that was going to kill me. Actually,
it was so hot
it
there.
was so hot. My God, yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice because it's great to hear different stories coming from Korea. Because Mo just flew in yesterday from Korea.
Yeah, I just missed you guys. I'm so sorry I wasn't invited. So hello, Squid Game.
No. To be fair, all you were doing was eating, and that's what you prefer to
I
do.
wanted K-barbecue, so I was like, okay, let me go to Korea.
Wow, social naman.
Baka mahirapan ka dun sa games if you keep on.
But then you were part of that whole promotion, and you actually played the games itself. So how was going through the activities? I know it was a bit competitive for some of the people there, and I was watching a few of the other local Filipino creators who were there, and they were going through some games actually holding their phones. I don't know how competitive it would have been in that scenario, but how was it for you?
Well, to be fair, it wasn't like a real competition. It was really more of like experiencing. And I remember the red light, green light. That game was where they were so competitive. Like I did not expect the first one. They were running. And then they were like, Moko wa to shin ta na shin, and then they were already there at the end of it before the song was even end. But it was fun. It was very fun, and I think because this is my second time being flown by Netflix for Squid Game. I was there for Squid Game 2 also. And Squid Game 2 was it was super fun already, but Squid Game 3 really took it a whole different level. There were a lot of surprises they did not tell us as creators. We were like, okay, just go there, just experience, and that's what I like about the activations on Netflix do. It's really just more of like, okay, here's an itinerary, go there, be surprised about what's going to happen. We even had a part where at the end of this parade, this is the parade, parade, and then the cast came out, did some interviews, and then at the end of it, when you thought it was done na, boom, bigla lumabas ulit. And they were carrying some pink balls where they started tossing out to the crowd. And turns out these are all signed balls by the cast.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was like, oh my God. The first ball that I caught, I was like, oh, just a march. I'll give it to someone else next to me. Turns out signed pala. I was like, oh my God. Super regret the first
You
ball.
gave it away.
I gave it away because
that's
the
so
first
funny.
one. But then after I knew that they were signed pala, I started getting
You got
more of
another
them.
one?
I got two.
All right, good.
One was the one by Top.
Yeah,
That
you
was-
could have
that
had
was one I wanted.
three.
I could have three. It was a nice collection, but sayang. But,
So which
yeah.
part of the whole experience made you feel like an actual player?
Actual player, I
Yeah.
guess it was the carousel game.
Okay.
Because it was the one where
You have to group yourself,
yeah,
right?
the group ourselves and all that, and we were all competitive. We were all very competitive. It was a fun type of competitive though. And then I guess the whole experience, my favorite was really to meet people from all around the world. We were 110 creators from like 20 plus different countries, and how often you get to meet new friends from around the world. That
Right.
is, I guess not forced, but like put together by net.
Does it help that you speak? I think you speak 4 languages, right?
I speak 5 actually.
speak
Oh,
5.
five.
Sorry, could you list them down for us? Could you list them down for
Okay.
us? And then, because I don't know how you would communicate with everyone there as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it helps because I grew up in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
where I went to international school, where I'm so used to meeting people from around the world already. English was my first language
Yeah.
at home. That's what we speak at home. We speak English and Hokkien. Hokkien is a Chinese
Yeah.
language, and then I speak Mandarin because I learned it in school.
Yeah.
Cantonese, of course, because I grew up in Hong Kong.
Yes, of course.
And what's my Tagalog?
I was gonna say. I was like, you know everything except Tagalog. 'cause-
How about Tagalog? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tagalog.
But what was it like moving here from Hong Kong? At what age did you move?
I moved here when I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah. So my backstory is my parents were born and raised in the Philippines. They moved to Hong Kong when I was like a month old, so that I basically grew up in Hong Kong and all that. My dad basically give me an option like, hey, do you want to come back to the Philippines and study in UP, which is the same school that my dad went to?
Yeah.
And then so I was like, hey, I mean it's 2 hours away, why not? So I can go back home quite easy. But ended up falling in love with this place, ended up getting into showbiz, and from showbiz, I guess I never left after that.
You know, what I love about that, Anne,
Okay.
because you're gonna love this part also, because you ended up going to UP, you had to learn Filipino as well,
Yeah.
right? No, the thing is, Mo moved back here 2017, and she is like yesterday
I
she
feel
did her
attacked.
first Tagalog live hit.
Ako yung nag-nosebleed
She was all gussied up for an event, like a bridal event, right? And then she had to do her first Tagalog.
It was Taglish, in fairness. I can't do straight Tagalog.
So the reason why we're bringing this up,
Yeah.
the reason why we're bringing this up is because Anne, you're gonna help us with this because we're going to ask.
Yes.
Mo doesn't know this, by the way. To translate actual Tagalog
already trying to
words,
read it
Richard,
in
we're
the
going to ask you to
prompter. I
do
don't
it as
understand.
well.
Yes, we're going to
All
put
right?
the both of you to the test. So we're going to find out, Pao,
Yeah.
sinong mas magaling in
translating
Tagalog.
already.
Is it going to be Richard or is it going to be Mo?
Exactly.
So
Anne's
Richard
going to be our
versus
game
Mo.
master. Anne's going to be our game master.
I'm going to ask the two of you to translate these Tagalog sentences.
But
okay?
wait, are we going one by one or like hands first? Who's first?
O sige, hands first.
What's
Sino
the
first?
Bilyonaryo
mechanics?
quiz B,
Oo,
no?
parang Bilyonaryo quiz B.
All right,
So,
sige,
Richard,
buzz up, buzz up.
if you want to, get ready. Yeah,
I came back from
Ganyan
Crap
ba?
for
So
Squid Game.
the first sentence is,
Okay.
pang-ilan ka sa magkakapatid?
Wow, our table, huh?
Okay.
I'm ready.
But you can steal if she's wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
How old are you? Which one are you in the sibling group?
What? I don't know if that's the accurate. All right, Richard, let's
Which one? No. Pang-ilan means which one out of So out of the well, it is kind of right. What sibling group?
Yeah, right?
Well,
I don't know.
anyways, sagot dyan ay panganay ako.
Okay, pwede. All right.
Ang hirap na naman kasi talaga,
Ang hirap
no?
doon, yeah, but
Okay.
you're both relatively
Okay,
right.
next
Yeah.
one is, amoy araw.
Okay, Mo.
You smell like the sun.
Oh, but that.
Or you
that
smell
is-
like the outdoors, right?
I think it's because you've been under sun for so long
So,
that you started to
You
have.
smell
There
like...
is
Yeah.
there is
Yes.
a like arrow smell. Like I don't think like when you're abroad, parang you're like, oh, you smell like the outdoors, and they're like, what?
You smell sweaty.
No, it's
Right?
not sweaty.
Mali ka rin eh.
No,
What
Alright,
is
alright.
wrong?
but the one that causes that odor is actually your sweat.
That's
Yeah,
necessarily.
it is.
No,
Yes.
It's like how Philippines can smell the rain.
No,
No,
literally.
no, that's totally different.
And you're wrong.
diba?
There's 3 against
All right, so
you.
let's move
No.
on. Let's move
Okay, I
on
know
because
that. But my answer is actually scientifically proven.
Hindi, pero yung mga cancel dito si Anne, hindi kami
Hindi.
tatlo.
Yes,
All right.
No, you see that confident smile on my face because I know what I'm talking about. Okay, next sentence
okay.
is,
I love
yeah,
it.
I know what I'm talking about. But it's Tagalog, I know what I'm talking about.
So
Okay,
much
next is,
anger.
nakakagigil ka.
I know this, but I don't know how to translate it.
Nagagigil is.
Like,
No, the term that I always use is something aggressive cuteness overload.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Actually, I was gonna say I'm overly obsessed with you. I wanna squeeze you, kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
next one is pahinging pasalubong.
Bring me a gift. Bring
From
me a
abroad.
gift from abroad. Yeah.
Yeah.
From abroad ka na, guys.
Which, by the way, these two ladies just came from abroad. They didn't bring home
Hoy,
gifts.
I have ha. Ano ba?
Ah, meron? Okay, so ito.
Didn't you? Wait, she brought chocolates.
What are you saying?
You're the one. Grabe naman. You went to Ilocos. You didn't bring us back empanada.
May dala ka rin. Okay,
Pero
good.
nasa bahay pa. Next time tanin ko. Next time.
Okay.
Kumain
Next
ka
time
nga
tanin
ng
ko.
chocolate, tapos wala akong pasalubong.
galing sa'yo yun? Alright.
Okay, last one. Diskartehan mo na lang.
Like make it witty or like do your best or
No.
I know how to
It's find your.
It's so hard to overthink and try to.
Because you're so immersed to be Pinoy na parang you just can't remember what the
It's so hard to translate these.
Find a way.
Yeah.
Just find a way.
You'll find a way.
Yeah.
No, that's
Street
so
smarted.
hard.
Street
Street
smarted.
smarted.
Street smarted or
that's
something.
true.
Street smarted ba?
Something
Or
like that. Something like that.
Diskarte. Yeah, just wing it.
Just wing it.
Just
Just
wing
wing
it.
it.
Just
Pwede
wing
din,
it. I don't know. That's
I'm
just
so tired of
flippant.
thinking already in Tagalog, guys. Naubusan na yung Tagalog ko yesterday.
Masyado maaga pa.
Masyado
Naubusan na
maaga.
last night.
Pasan yung dalawa no? But alright, so first of all, as we take a break from all of that, let's go back to the realm of yung local life mo dito. Because honestly, you have started in the showbiz scene here. You have started to make a name for yourself here as well. But at the same time, a bit of challenge also with some of the roles and yung Chinoy, the Chinoy roles that you normally take. First of all, how do you bring that to life here using your own personal experiences? Obviously, you live it. That is part of it. But then how much is of the creative process that you actually derive from the experience of some people around you?
Yeah. Well, I guess playing Chinoy, because I guess for me, someone that looks like this, I'm a bit typecasted already. But I'm like, most of the time we won't believe that I'm a full Filipino or any stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why parang I've always couldn't play Chinoy roles. So the last one that I really did was pre-pandemic called Love Thy Woman. And that was 2020, early 2020s.
Yeah.
This with Maha?
No, this was with Kim Chiu.
Kim Chiu, yeah.
Okay.
CN during that time. And oh man, that was also some experience because I came into the cast late. They were trying to really put me next to Kim Chiu. They were trying to groom me also towards that direction. But unfortunately, pandemic happened.
Yeah.
That's when things got. My role got cut. I remember I was pretty bummed out about that because that was kind of gonna be my TV acting break. I mean, in showbiz, I've done pretty much everything except for series during that time.
Yeah.
I've done a movie. I've done music videos. I was on Billboard, stuff like that. And that was the only thing that was missing. But when my role got cut, I was like, oh man, this was completely not something I expected, and changed the whole trajectory of my life. Because during the pandemic was also when I started my company, which is a film production company, and it turns out for the better, I guess somehow. But sorry, going back to your main question, which is how was it being a Chinoy? I mean, for me, I live it naman so it's a lot easier to kind of find the hugot, and us Chinoys were actually 2-3% of the population of the Philippines, and we're not even counting the halfies or the ones that are mixed blood ba. So I think Chinese Chinoy culture is very big also in the Philippines, but just that we're not so represented as much on TV. But although I do see efforts, of course, with all these different shows that come out and different characters and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I was gonna ask, is there a dream collab you want to do with an actor and actress here in the Philippines? And is there a certain type of genre you want to do?
I do. I mean, I enjoy hosting a lot, but I do eventually want to get back into acting somehow. And I think the one that I really want to do is probably some sort of action film in the future. Maybe when I get bigger and buffer, because now I still have a baby face, a baby boy look. So maybe when I get more mature.
Are you willing to transform your image to really match an action star look?
Slowly, but surely. I mean, I might not look this. I look this, but I'm 30 plus already. So.
Oh, what?
Yes.
So you're younger than me.
No, Mo, I have the same problem. People say,
Huh? Hindi, you're
Age reveal na ba to sa lahat? Age reveal na ba tayo?
No, No, but just looking at it, you mentioned you have you want to go into the action. My question is, what type of action? Is it the superhero type? Is it the type like the Mission Impossible Tom Cruise type? Or I don't know. What's your definition of action?
My action, I guess, is more of because I grew up watching Hong Kong films, like Hong Kong type of martial arts. That's the dream.
Do you know how to do martial arts?
But I think I don't. So I need to train first.
I was going to say, you have the next Jackie Chan.
I gotta train. There's a lot of I gotta do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm someone that loves to do a lot of different things. I mean, we're still young, and we live in an age where a lot of things are accessible. So we want to do a lot of things, experience life, and so one of the things I want to experience is being an action star. But I mean, it's a far-fetched dream, but
no, I don't think it's that far-fetched.
I think so. Yeah.
No,
that'll happen.
especially that you also produce films right now. What stories do you like telling in general? Like what really tickles your fancy? What are the stories that you want to tell that you haven't yet?
I think what I really want to do is to be able to produce an IP that is a cinematic universe, just like a Harry Potter, like a Pokemon, or like a Marvel. Like those are stuff that I want to eventually get into. I don't know how long that's going to take, because of course building a whole cinematic world will take a very, very long time.
Yeah.
It usually comes from a certain IP already where you build on, but I do believe that I want to do something that comes out of the Philippines that can be shown to the world. And that's always been my dream in the company, where we want to do stuff that is not just for the Philippines, not just for Asia, but for the whole world. So
maybe you can make some sort of a Filipino version of Squid Game.
Hey,
Because now they're doing an American spin-off, right?
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on this? With Kate Blanchett, I think, as the recruiter.
Is that spoiler? Is that spoilers?
No, it's actually
Anna's a resident spoiler.
No, it isn't. It's been on Facebook. Yeah, they're just talks, and then pictures of Kate Blanchett as the recruiter. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I have mixed feelings. I mean, because Squid Game is so beautifully done, and then there's a spin-off of another version. Like the expectations are so high, and I hope they can pull it off to be expecting for that high.
Yeah.
If we did a Squid Game show here in the Philippines, what Pinoy trait would you say would make the best survivor on Squid Games?
I think it's a discarte.
Discarte.
Our
Translate.
discarte.
What's discarte?
We were street smart.
Street smart.
Our street smart. I think it's a very Pinoy thing, and that we're very street smart, and we're able to find our ways.
We'll find a way.
Because all the Squid Games are well discarte talaga eh.
No, I find that super interesting. I find that super again, Filipino qualities, and hopefully good luck. Hopefully good luck in creating your own universe, whatever that might be. And of course, hopefully we get to see you again soon, because unfortunately we're running out of time, Mo, and we gotta say bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Next time we see you, you'll be all buff and martial arts out.
I'll try my best.
Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Richard Juan.
Exactly.
Pwede.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Richard. That was Richard Juan, actor, host, advocate, entrepreneur, and chinito cutie.
Now, when we return, we will talk about nutrition tips for a healthier rainy season. So don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. July is Nutrition Month, a perfect opportunity to remind ourselves that what we put on our plates directly affects our health. This couldn't be more timely with the rainy season ushering in a surge of common illnesses like colds, flu, and other infections. Now, to help us understand what to eat, what to avoid, and how to stay healthy despite the changing weather, we are joined today by Dr. Dex Macalintal, clinical nutritionist from Lipa Medix Medical Center. Good morning, Dr. Dex. Welcome back to It's
Hi.
a Beautiful Day. Finally, we have you live on the show.
Yeah, it's nice to be here sa studio nyo.
Yay!
100%. And Doc, let's talk about nutrition muna. Kasi again, Nutrition Month.
Yeah.
And the thing with Nutrition Month is sometimes people don't balance their foods in
yes,
general.
yes.
Especially, unfortunately to say, mga Pinoy, it's very carb heavy.
Yes.
Sometimes the mix is not quite there. When you take a look at yung kultura natin, what do you think needs to be adapted to try and be healthier holistically?
Actually, nagawa na yan ng paraan ng government eh. So, we launched the Pinggang Pinoy. So, the Pinggang Pinoy, ito yung parang mag-a-adjust na sa atin eh. So, half of your plate should be just fruits and vegetables. And then 1/4 of your plate would be your carbohydrates. And then another 1/4 would be your lean protein. But the problem is, medyo yung mga Pinoy, medyo nadyan sila sa area ng medyo piloso po. Uy, 1/4 ng plate, pwede ko bang itaas na ganon? So that's a problem. So kaya kailangan nating ayusin lang yung mindset ng mga Pilipino that kapag ka sinabi mo 1/4, it should be really just 1/4 of the whole of it. And then, yes, carb heavy yung mga Pinoy, pero tandaan natin that carbs are not the enemy. It's actually the portion and the type of carbohydrates that we're taking a look at. Say, for example, kung ang carbohydrates mo are more of the refined carbohydrates, white rice, white bread, white pasta, medyo magkakaroon tayo ng problem dyan. Kung sobrang dami. But then, kung more of complex carbohydrates like brown rice, red rice, black rice, even your wheat bread, that should be fine. Pero again, everything should be in moderation, variety, and balance. And when we talk about moderation, variety, and balance, meron pong tinatamaan na tamang dami lang yan. So, say for example, kami mga dietitians, we actually compute gaano karami yan para sa'yo, sa carbohydrates mo, sa proteins, sa fats, and even your vitamins and minerals.
What's the best way, Doc? Because when people think like to basically measure everything, is there an easy way that people can do it so every meal they can measure 1/4, okay, 1/2?
Yes, use your hands, use your fists. So for your protein, usually it's about the size of your palm. And then yung palm po natin, yung palad po natin ay ito po, hindi po kasama yung daliri. So yeah, that's usually it.
I thought this whole thing.
No, ito yung palad.
So ayan na, discarding Pinoy.
Yan, discarding Pinoy, di ba? So sobrang dami na naman yan. Pero again, it would depend, no? Depends sa katawan natin at depends sa stature natin. So for the most part, 1 to 2 na ganito, that's fine. No? And then yung inyong po carbohydrates load, no? So 1 cup would be just like your fist. No? And then another 1/2 of your plate should be just fruits and vegetables.
Doc, sorry medyo na-alarm
malaki
ako.
yung
Ang laki ng kamay ko
malaki yung kamay niya.
Ang laki ng kamay. Like,
So lugi ka when you have small hands.
give me your hands.
Wala na, mas marami kang rice kesa sa akin.
Well, kasi
I have big hands and palms, same tayo.
Sorry but size compare sa mukha ni Anne, pa-zoom in naman. Alright.
Diba?
Kaya pala konti lang yung kinakain ko. Ito
Kasi
lang yung
konti lang
rice
din
ko.
naman yung
ito
kailangan
lang
niya
yung-
talaga. Okay. If you take a look at your stature versus Paolo's stature, maliit po talaga kayo. So yung requirement nyo would be a little bit lower than
right.
Paolo's.
Of course,
So
of course.
That would follow.
Yeah.
Look, hindi naman po pwede na sabihin natin na si Paolo ganito kalaki tapos mas maliit yung proportions ng kanya. So that would not follow. Diba?
But Doc, July is Nutrition Month. Gaano ba ka-importante yung nutrition? Especially now, kasi tag-ulan, no? So usong-uso yung mga illnesses like yung sipon, flu, di ba? So how important is it na we really watch what we put on our plates?
Well, definitely kasi kung ano yung kinakain mo, would have an effect in your body. Say for example, kung masyadong refined yung kinakain natin, the inflammation would set in and would definitely put down your immune system.
Right.
Remember that the body is built for survival at kinakailangan din ng support to survive whatever it is. No? So ngayon that the flu season is in at lumalamig na, dumadami din yung mga viruses around, causing flu, causing cold, causing cough. At ito kinakailangan natin na yung kinakain natin mas magpapa-boost ng ating or mag-strengthen ng ating immune system.
Are there certain foods we should avoid during this type of extreme heat, extreme humidity with all the rains and stuff? Are there certain foods we should avoid?
Well, wala naman talaga dapat na i-avoid the pagkain.
Yeah.
But yung sobrang dami ng processed foods, yan yung definitely kailangan. And check also your risks. If you're diabetic, medyo babawasan niyo po yung inyong sugary intake. No? If you are hypertensive, medyo yung fat intake, medyo babawasan po natin.
Is there any good medical explanation? Kasi normally sinasabi natin, okay, so tag-ulan. sarap magsinigang, sarap magbulalo, right? Anything warm and soupy.
Yeah.
Like, can we encourage more people to have more meals like that? Or do you feel na tipong like, masarap lang siya kasi sabaw na mainit?
Well, masarap siya kasi
oo.
sabaw na mainit.
Yeah.
And it actually have an effect with your temperature. No? So kapag malamig yung panahon, tapos malamig pa yung iinumin mo, minsan nagkakaroon lang ng discomfort. Pero there should be no issue on that. No? So kahit na malamig yung panahon, uminom ka ng malamig na tubig, pareho lang din naman sila ng tubig na papasok sa katawan mo kahit warm yung tubig.
Yeah, you know what, Anne, I have a topic that I think you would really enjoy here.
Yes.
Kasi kahit any time of the year, rainy season or tag-init, maraming nagda-diet. And because of that, some people deprive themselves of a certain nutrients. Deprive themselves of certain nutrients or avoid certain foods altogether.
Yeah.
When you take a right, Anne? When you take a
I
look
don't
at
deny it. I'm always on a diet.
Oo,
Pero
so-
rice lang naman talaga yung tinanggal ko from
no,
my
that's actually my
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
When you avoid certain foods to reach a certain caloric deficit, ano yung mga dangers nun?
Okay. So, kasi tandaan natin na yung mga pagkain natin. No? So, para silang, imagine your body as a company. Say, for example, here, sa news. No? So, tayo ang trabaho natin to be anchors. No? Trabaho nila to be cameramen. Trabaho lang nasa taas ay to do the executive work. If you take away yung executive work, sino mag-step up? Kung tatanggalin mo yung anchors, sino mag-anchor dyan? Kung tatanggalin mo yung cameraman, sino magka-camera dyan? So, lahat tayo madidiskarel. So, ganun din pagdating sa pagkain. So, if you take away certain food groups, the other food groups would have to compensate for the function of that food group. And would have maybe a detrimental effect in the long run. Say, for example, kapag tinanggal mo talaga totally yung carbohydrates. No? So, tanggalin natin yung carbohydrates. Oo, bababa siya. Bababa yung caloric intake mo. But the thing is, yung carbohydrates, there are functions of the carbohydrates. Like, for example, it's a ready source of energy. It's an energy that can be used to protect your protein from being used up. So, ang mangyayari, may-use up siya, pero matagal. Matagal yung proseso. That's why sometimes people would have brain fog. Sometimes people would have deficit in their energy. Kaya, and then also, yung mga, kunyari, yung carbohydrate-rich foods, sometimes these foods, ito, mga nakikita po ninyo sa screens ninyo, mga prutas, mga gulay, minsan tinatanggal din nila yan eh. So pagka tinanggal mo yon, there are nutrients that are not found in your protein-rich foods or fatty-rich foods. Katulad nito, pagka tinanggal natin itong mga prutas na to, sayang naman yung vitamin C, vitamin A, no, vitamin B complex. At kapag ka ganun, tandaan natin na kailangan din natin itong mga vitamins na to for our release of energy.
You heard that,
yeah.
Anne. So
No,
you
yeah,
need carbs.
that's why
They're the
my-
executive body of your body. So wala kang boses.
No, that's why my nutritionist would always say, if you want to skip rice, you always have to have an
replace it.
alternative,
Yes.
right? Like sweet potatoes. Yeah. So, speaking of itong mga gulay na mga ano, kasi alam natin ang mahal na ng bilihin ngayon, right? For families that are on a budget, ano yung mga maire-recommend mo na mga nutritious foods that are good for the health and at the same time affordable din naman?
Well, gulay pa din yung kinakailangan natin i-ramp up, no. So
Right.
there's no replacement for the gulay,
Yes.
no. And then you can have yung pinggang Pinoy pa rin as your template. So halimbawa, kung mahal yung karne, pwede ka mag-tofu.
Tofu,
Diba?
yes.
Yung kanin mo, pwede naman nandiyan na pa rin si kanin kasi kailangan mo ng enerhiya. Yung gulay, kung anong available na mabilis yung mabibili at madaling yung makukuha for your budget, pwede naman. Sa amin, sa Lipa City, Batangas, may nabibili na 10 pisong gulay na siya, na mix na siya. Pwede nang pagyamanin yun. And another tip, during this rainy season or any other season, simulan na po nating magtanim. Kasi kung sasabihin ng mga nanonood sa atin, kailan ko pa aanihin yan? Marami na pong nagtanong sa akin yan, kung hindi tayo magsisimulang magtanim ngayon, wala talaga tayong maanihin.
Oo, tama yan.
yeah.
So if we take a look at the landscape ngayon, oo, pataas yung mga buildings dito sa Metro Manila. Pero pwede ka naman mag-hydroponic setup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So,
love
yung mga ganyan.
hydroponic vegetables. Actually,
Yes.
they taste different.
Yeah.
They're really good.
And then this could be sustainable.
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
So kasi nadodon ka din naman, mas mumura yung bilihin nyo.
Right.
Hindi ka na masyadong, kunyari, mahilig ka sa lettuce. Hindi ka na masyadong bibili noon.
Yeah.
Right.
Kasi meron ka ng ready
Yes.
source.
Right.
So kung magtatanim ka pa ng ibang gulay dyan, pwede ka na mag-pick dyan. And it's also a form of exercise. In the morning, gagawin mo to, magte-tend ka sa plants mo. At hindi lang siya ornaments.
Yeah.
No?
Right.
Ito could be sustainable for your health as well.
Oh, I should try that because especially like all of us, we're such on-the-go people. So my
yeah.
problem, that's why I can't lose weight, is because I can't find healthy foods anywhere, right? I'm always eating either fast foods or instant foods. So what are your practical tips for people who are always on the go, who are trying to be healthy?
Okay, if you're always on the go, I suggest that you set a time for the week to meal prep. Say for example, kung sa Sundays or a Saturday, just set one day, no? And then at least, no, kahit 2-3 araw lamang na meron kang food prep, that would mean a lot.
Yeah. No, that's true. And of course, when you take a look at syempre, we're also talking about yung complete nutrition coming for your meals. Minsan, there are some people who would not have a certain food group or baka hindi nila type. They end up trying to make up for yung nutritional deficit nila through supplements. When you take a look at people who actually take multivitamins and want to supplement yung mga feeling nila kulang na nutrition, what's the best way to go about that?
Well, tingnan muna natin kung ano yung kinakain nila. Kung kinakain nila, that's why in our practice, we have to have a food record. Or kahit nga 24-hour food record, titingnan namin if this is a typical diet, kung kulang talaga yung vitamins and minerals nila. Kung kulang talaga, that's the time that we supplement. Because we cannot supplement anything that has no baseline.
Right.
So kahit mag-supplement ka na mag-supplement dyan, kung yung pagkain mo hindi rin maganda, wala rin mangyayari. And remember that yung food natin, this is the most bioavailable form ng inyong mga vitamins and minerals.
Kanina, Doc, you were able to give practical tips para sa mga people on the go. At this time, July is Nutrition Month. It's also back to school month, di ba? Anong mga practical tips mo naman for students who are returning to school?
For students who are returning to school, tingnan nyo yung canteen ninyo.
Right.
Siguraduhin ninyo na yung mga kakainin ninyo may mga gulay. No, as much as possible meron, lalo na at tumatama talaga na yung pasukan is rainy season. No, and at kapag ganyan, maraming mga pasyente ang pupunta sa amin, sinisipon, inuubo pagkatapos nilang sa simula ng pagpasok nila at pagkatapos ng kanilang schools. So, kung titingnan natin, nagja-jump pack yung mga pasyente na kapag rainy season, ito inuubos-ipon sila, tapos ito pa pasukan pa. So lalo na yung mga bata magkakasama sila doon. So madaling magkakawakan. That's why tingnan niyo po yung inyong mga canteens as much as possible mayroong gulay at sa mga magulang magpabaon ng prutas sa inyong mga anak. And also sa mga public school administrators at sa mga private school administrators, siguraduhin po natin yung mga canteens natin meron pong gulay.
Now, what about for senior citizens or those with existing health conditions?
Yeah. So for those who have existing health conditions, they have to have their regular checkup. Tingnan muna natin ano po ba yung current state ninyo. Ano yung pagkain ninyo everyday, and then tingnan din natin kung nami-meet po ninyo yung nutritional requirements. And then after that, we do a consultation on how you can ramp up yung inyong vitamins and minerals kung kinakailangan nating dagdagan sa inyong mga kinakain. And then check natin din yung pagkain po nila, no? Kung halimbawa kayo po ay medyo hypertensive, tanggalin yung taba at saka yung balat bago lutuin. Kasi magkaiba po yung bago lutuin sa bago kainin. Kasi kapag yung bago kainin, yung taba niyan at yung cholesterol na nandiyan na sa loob. So, nandiyan sa sabaw. Eh, di ba, sabi nga ni Paolo kanina, masarap yung sinigang.
Super.
Masarap yung mga sopas na ganyan. Sasama na yun doon. Higupin natin yung sabaw, doon na rin, nakuha na din natin siya.
Ay, pero yun yung masarap sa sinigang?
Yes.
Kaya nga bawal eh.
Yun yung masarap, the fatty part of the
Yeah,
di ba?
but there are other things naman that we can do para mas mapasarap natin.
Sinigang na ribs, that's healthier and more leaner. I'm telling you guys.
Bilyonaryo nga tayo, no? But then, when we take a look at yung mga working professionals naman, that talagang hard worker, mga working bee na nagsiskip ng lunch dahil sa trabaho. I mean, like, how do you address those people?
Sinasabihan natin sila, huwag kayong mag-skip. Kasi kapag ka nag-skip kayo dyan, lalo na kayo mapaparami ng kain sa gabi. At kapag ka naparami kayo ng kain sa gabi, the metabolism could be a little bit slower. Mas lalo kayong magkakaroon ng risk for obesity, overweight, and there goes your diabetes, your hypertension, and all that.
Then, Doc, kasi kanina nag-mention ka that you start keeping a food record.
Yeah.
And normally, when people start keeping a food record, medyo they look at what they're eating. Sabi na,
Yeah.
yan ba talaga yung kinakain
Nasha-shock
ko?
sila, no?
Nasha-shock sila
Yeah,
eh.
yes.
Is that the necessary first step for yung mga beginners in terms of trying to create like a nutrition plan, trying to be healthier, to make sure that, okay, especially this nutrition month, diba, that they are more aware of what they put into their body?
Actually, there are 3 steps na usually sinasabi ko bago tayo pumunta doon sa tracking. No? Kung nagpapapayat, una, tanggalin mo lang lahat ng colored na inumin.
Yeah.
Lahat ng tawag dito, calorie dense na inumin. Or liquid calories. Say for example, soft drinks, yung mga kape na may gatas,
Juice,
na
daming
mga
sugar.
juice na madaming sugar. So tanggalin nyo lang 'yon.
Wait, but Doc, what if it's fresh juice, like fresh orange juice
If
without
it's-
the sugar?
Yeah, if it's fresh orange juice, that's fine.
That's okay.
No, but then again, tingnan natin kung naglalagay pa kayo na kung ano-ano dun sa sugar.
Hindi naman
yeah.
nagda-diet si Paolo.
Hindi naman nagda-diet si Paolo. So, pero
Dapat
anyway,
nga eh,
yeah, that's the first step. You try to limit your liquid calories.
Right.
And then the next step would be healthy snacking. So the healthy
Yes.
snacking would be you want to swap yung potato chips with the real potatoes.
Yeah.
Parang ganyan, or real baked potatoes, and then and others. Say for example yung cut vegetables.
What are your thoughts on kamote chips?
Kamote chips are okay.
Like the ones that you buy from the healthy stores. Okay ba yun?
Sometimes they're coated with sugar though.
Yeah, if it's check the label.
Check lang.
Check
Yeah.
the label. If there are added sugar, kung masyadong mataas pa rin yung sugar dun, then it's a no. And then the sodium content. You
Yeah,
take a look at the
sodium.
sodium content. It's also not good.
Everything's bad for us. Just
Everything's
buy from the
bad.
palengke.
Yeah, and then, just buy from your local farmers.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
create your own. That's our best tip for everyone kasi who are trying to lose weight or trying to reduce their
Sorry,
other
Doc,
calories.
last ko na to pasensya
Last mo na yan?
Last ko na to.
May added sugar ba yan? Or just milk?
Everyday yun eh.
Added sugar ba o milk lang?
It's just,
Basta last ko na to, guys.
Ay,
Yun yung sasabihin ko.
Pero kasi merong paraan para ma-enjoy mo pa rin yan.
Ayun! Oh, wait, I need this. Ano to?
Yeah, meron paraan. Diba that's coffee with
Yeah.
milk and with sugar. You can try to tell the barista to do non-fat.
non-fat milk.
Non-fat milk, and then instead
sugar-free
the
syrup.
sugar,
Yeah,
use the
sugar-free vanilla
syrup,
they
or
have.
not the syrup, but yung mga artificial sweeteners.
Yes, blend
pwede
So
them.
we can use like the raw sugar. Is that okay?
Yeah, the raw sugar is okay, but if you're cutting down the calories,
Still.
you still go for the artificial sweeteners.
What
but you
about
know-
alternative milks?
Alternative milks like your soy or oat milk,
Almond
those are
milk,
fine.
yeah.
But if you want really to lower down your calories, you choose non-fat.
Okay, non-fat
Or
is
just
like...
take it black,
Black.
like I do.
Or just take it black.
Always
Oh,
black.
okay. Sige, si Anne daw yung no carbs, black coffee. Okay. We know who the healthy one is in this room.
Pero kasi yung black coffee that's the best kasi.
Yeah.
Instead of
Black coffee.
but kasi meron tayong mga kapwa Pilipino na hindi talaga kaya yung black lang. That's why to transition
Right.
you remove the sugar first, and then you remove the fat or the milk. So kaya non-fat muna, and then slowly we transition to less of the non-fat, and then you slowly transition to the black coffee.
Artificial sweeteners, yung mga Splenda,
Yeah,
yung mga
stevia.
ganon,
You
is
said
that, ano?
earlier, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they are generally safe kung tamang amounts lamang. Ang sinasabi lang naman ng study, the possible link to cancer is if you consume 14 in one sitting.
Too much.
So 13 pwede
Yeah,
na.
14 in one sitting. So who would do that?
Who would do
Diba?
that, diba? Yeah, but
I
you know what?
agree.
We could spend the entire show talking about
We
health
should.
and nutrition, right? Maybe you can join us again next time,
Of course,
Doc
of
Dex.
course,
But
anytime.
before you go, where can they reach you? I'm sure our viewers have a lot of
Okay.
questions to throw.
Yeah, so Lipa City, Batangas po ang aking klinika. But if you want to see me on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Instagram, it's just Dr. Dex Macalintal.
All right,
Doc
thank
Dex,
you
I'm
so
so
much.
happy you're here. I really am. I'm so happy you're here in
Paulo
person.
got called out.
No, I'm not I called out. We called ourselves out, to be fair.
Thank
At least we
you.
know we're not healthy.
Thank you for your time,
Anytime.
Doc Dex, for sharing your expertise with us this Nutrition Month. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you, Doc
Likewise.
Dex.
Thank you.
Get healthy, guys. Now, when we return, I'll be talking to experts about the government's preparations for the coming typhoon season. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, President Bongbong Marcos orders LGUs to clean up their drainage systems, especially in Metro Manila, ahead of the incoming typhoon season. Now, the president has also tasked the DPWH and DOLE to use its Tupad program and mobilize beneficiaries for the cleaning in exchange for financial assistance. And as the government prepares first responders for the monsoon season, Malacanang also calls on the public to take action for themselves and stop littering.
Asahan niyo po ang gobyerno nakikilos para sa inyo, pero sana rin po, kumilos din po kayo para sa taong bayan. Iwasan na po natin magkalat, magtapon ng mga basura sa mga lugar na mas madalas na bahain. Minsan po tayo rin po ang nagiging dahilan kung bakit mabilis bumha sa ating lugar.
Now, this typhoon season, we ask this question yet again. What does it really take to mitigate flooding? I'm joined by Engineer Gresel Christopher Damo, Project Manager with the DPWH, and Ms. Lei Lunas, a Geographic Information System expert, both of them working on the Pasig-Marikina River Channel Improvement Project. It's a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Beautiful day also.
All right, Engineer Toto, right? I'll start off with you kasi when we take a look at the flooding situation in Metro Manila in general, parang every year sinasabi natin, what will it take to stop the flooding here? When we take a look at the projects happening this year, ano pong ginagawa ng DPWH?
Okay, good morning, Sir Paolo. DPWH is actually doing its job in widening the river, cleaning up, also the steros and also the pumping station. We are managing for the increasing the capacity of our pumping station. For in this case, sa Pasig Marikina, we have a specific project. This is a large-scale project which stretches around 8 kilometers of river improvement. So, okay lang ba? Sabi ko sa inyong mga prominent landmarks natin. So, from downstream, mag-start po kami sa Park Links, Marikina River po to, then going to Circulo Verde, which is actually yung bungad ng Manggaan Floodway, and then after that, Santolan, and then Eastwood, and then going upstream sa Campatiensa, then Olandes, and then Riverbank, SM Marikina, all the way to Provident, Barangay Kalumpang, and then ang endpoint namin is sa Marikina Bridge. So from the title itself, Pasig Marikina River Improvement Project. No? So winaway din namin yung river natin by dredging and also setting the width of the river para mas malaking capacity niya. So aside from that, nakita namin malaki ang i-dredge natin dito, which is around 2 million cubic meter na lupa na dapat nating itanggalin sa ilog para lumaki ang kapasidad niya.
What I find very unique sa project na to, or at least maybe coming from my perspective, kasi I don't live in yung world ninyo. Nasanay ako sa road widening eh.
Yes.
Ngayon lang nakita yung river widening. But what are the effects na inaasahan ng DPWH to be measurable to say na successful yung project na to?
Okay, since we're already at the middle part, 50% na nung accomplishment natin, especially in the dredging works, actually, binabanggit ang ating mahal na presidente, yung climate change. So, ibig sabihin, yung intensity ng rainfall natin ngayon is like, parang magiging normal na yung ondoy type na rainfall. We experienced Typhoon Karina, Ulysses.
Yeah.
So, palit na lang yung chance na nauulit yung ganito kalaking magnitude. Before we start our project, napansin namin na mabilis tumaas yung tubig sa Marikina River, but because we already dredge almost 50% of the volume ng lupa na nakaharang doon sa ilog, so parang it's like also yung road nga, na pag niluwagan mo, so less ang traffic. So mabilis tumakbo ang tubig pababa. Pag masikip ang daan, mas masikip yung kalsada natin, mas mahirap duman yung mga sasakyan. So same as with the river. So pag we will not going to improve that by widening and also dredging, so mahirap niyang kayanin yung capacity na malakas na ulan. Tulad ng Undoy or something like that.
Ms. Lunas, kanina nag-usap tayo and your job actually helps create maps, especially mga flood hazard mapping para sa mga LGU, if I'm not mistaken. When you take a look at yung trabaho mo, it feels like ever-changing. They're changing the river.
Yes.
So it feels like you're changing yung trabaho nyo rin. When you take a look at yung flood hazard mapping, what are the goals? And of course, paano mo ginagawa?
Okay po. So, ang flood hazard mapping, basically, you have to identify the flood-prone areas dun sa certain communities. Like for our project, we identified each barangays where are the flood-prone areas, and then we conduct a workshop inviting LGU, DRRM officers, and barangay officers, including residents. So they have a table setup meeting and they discuss so saan yung pwedeng dumaan in case magkaroon ng flooding, paano pumunta ng evacuation area, and also you have to identify ano yung mga important critical facilities like nearest hospital, police station, barangay, fire. So you have to identify and having the perspective of the resident. So syempre, since it's not only the resident, even the commuters or passers-by. So dapat parang meron din silang input, especially input and output, and they can see where are the important locations are just in case they have to evacuate.
So, how have the maps evolved, especially with the different projects from the government? At the same time, yung climate change nga, parang yung epekto ng climate change has been, it feels like we've been feeling it more and more pronounced in the past few years. How often have these maps changed sa experience niyo po?
For example, in this project, we started in 2022. We already conducted parang meron na kaming flood hazard map and meron ng certain levels ng lalim ng baha. And due to interventions like the structural measures, so I'm part of the non-structural measures. So because of that, may mga certain areas na hindi na siya binabaha kasi meron ng interventions. Like example, sa Barangay Santolan, before, during Condoy, during Ulysses, it was really flooded in particular areas and dahil may interventions na hindi na ganun kalalim yung baha as expected. Parang ganun.
Engineer, na-mention mo 50% yung latest project nyo along Marikina River in particular. Ano yung timeline po natin to actually get yung 100%?
Okay, magandang tanong yan. No? Previously, ang original kasi na dapat na matapos kami this December 2025. But due to some additional works and revision of ng mga design namin, and ang pinakamabigat dito yung mga na-found out namin during construction, may mga changes kami na methodology. So we extended yung completion date to December 2026. So by that time, yun mararanasan natin yung big effect nung structure natin. Kasi aside from widening kasi, we also do construction of flood wall para yung tubig hindi papunta dun sa mga dapat na hindi binabaha.
What are the reasons why nag-evolve yung methodology ninyo? Is it because as you're constructing, there are new parts of the river siguro that you didn't realize medyo kailangan pala ng ibang structural intervention? Okay.
So, isang mga naging problema namin, no, because as you know, yung Pasig River Marikina River natin is actually heavily urbanized. Hindi lang urbanized, sabi ko, binanggit ko rin yung mga prominent landmarks like yung Eastwood. May mga buildings na kasi yan. So, when we drive our sheet pile, kasi sheet pile namin almost 18 meters. So, ibig sabihin, ganun kalaking bakal, ibabaon mo. And you need, if you want to push that sheet pile sa ground, kailangan mo, o sa riverbed, kailangan mo siyang malakas na force. So, it creates a vibration, noise, and everything. So, may time na yung area na dinadrive lang namin na sheet pile, we encountered hard strata. And we have to reduce the noise and also the vibration by pre-drilling. So, that is additional cost sa contractor namin, at the same time yung time. And also some designs actually like yung sa Marikina. Of course, merong ideal na design kami na ito lang kasi ang gusto namin gawin, but the LGUs itself, they have also some needs na kailangan nila tong area na to na ganito. We need this area to be open for the public in the future. So nagkakaroon kaming adjustment, and we have meaning if we have some adjustment, we have to redesign that area. And we have to comply kung ano yung kailangan ng LGU. But ang importante dito, pasok pa rin dun sa design discharge natin na siniset dun sa Marikina River. So maraming mga changes, but ang pinakamabigat yung dumating yung we have to stop our work because of the typhoon. Every time there is a typhoon or heavy rainfall, we have to stop because we have to secure yung safety nung barge. Siguro fresh pa sa memory ng iba nating kasama, mga kababayan natin na nanonood, yung nangyari doon sa Manalo Bridge wherein the barge actually hit yung tulay.
Yes, exactly.
Eventually na-damage namin yon. But we restored it na maging passable ulit yung tulay at a temporary work as a temporary bridge, no? Because we are planning to restore that bridge into 4 lane kasi ngayon existing is 2 lane lang. Bago ma-damage 2 lane lang siya, din na-damage namin, so we replace it with yung Bailey Bridge, which is actually a temporary bridge.
Yeah.
While waiting for the new design.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that in just a bit, actually, engineer. But then I want to focus first on Ms. Lunas kasi may signages tayo dito to help identify the certain... Well, ginagamit ng mga LGU. So we'll bring it all up here. Ginagamit ng LGU. Ito pa yung flood evacuation route po natin. When we take a look at the interventions ng mga LGU to try and keep everyone safe, especially during yung typhoon season po natin, just how important are the signages, the early warning systems that you are able to help provide para sa mga kababayan natin?
Yes. So for the importance of the flood signages installation is basically to promote awareness and also to guide people to safety, especially the residents, the commuters, and deliveries, everyone passing through the barangays. It's very helpful because they have to know if the road is passable, it will, especially then pala sa evacuation kung okay, is it going to safety and where's the evacuation area. And I also want to add that the installation of flood signages is part of the non-structural measure of our project, Pasig Marikina River Channel Improvement Project, Phase 4. And other than the installation of signages, we also conducted evacuation drills and also environmental monitoring during construction and RAP and also social development planning, and we also conducted tree planting and Ilog Summit.
Yeah.
So these are more community preparedness and including the people part of the project and also being part of safety for everyone, especially living within the area.
All right, Ms. Luna, I'm gonna hold on to this during the entire interview. But then when we take a look at yung preparedness natin, just how ready are we given yung dalawang types of interventions, the non-structural and the structural, especially for this year in particular? I understand 50% lang so far, and I understand that you have also started campaigns like this, or at least continued campaigns like this, and of course have worked with LGUs. Ano yung readiness po natin dito, given yung works po ninyo?
Siguro, it's a holistic approach, so there's non-structural and structural. So it's not only about the engineering interventions, it's also about the people. So I would I'm 100% sure that the people in our pilot barangays that we have taught, they're very much aware of the situation and they're very well prepared because I've given them also materials that they can use and given proper workshops and training. So I think they're pretty much okay. And also coordination and relationship between the project, DPWH, and also the barangays and LGUs. It's really like a teamwork, a team effort to involve everyone in this during the flood season.
Well, engineer, we're running out of time, but really quickly here, with 50% of the flood works, or at least mga mitigation efforts already done sa Marikina, can we expect lesser impact from the typhoons, especially in those areas once they do come in, because it's very notorious yung Marikina River when it comes to flooding?
Yeah, actually from the start of our project in 2021, siguro nung 2022-23, we experienced already some changes, major changes, because we already freed some portion of the river by widening, and we already set yung ating river capacity. So malaking effect. However, again, this is only a limited design, 30-year term period, which is around 2,900 cubic meter per second. And Typhoon Ondo is around 3,200 cubic meter per second. So ibig sabihin, even though matapos namin itong project na to by 2030 lahat, if another Typhoon Ondoy will come, again, we will experience flood. Kasi we haven't finished yet yung mga nasa upstream portion.
Yeah.
Nasa phase 4 pa lang kami and we still have the phase 6 and also the Upper Marikina intervention like yung mga flood control dams. Kasi most of the discharge is coming from actually sa Sierra Madre. And if heavy rain will fall, yung discharge or yung catchment basin natin, yung from the mountain, every water will be flown to the Marikina River and yun ang mabigat. So hopefully, we are also appealing to the people, to the residents na this is only a 30-year term period flood discharge capacity lang and hindi to 100% kasi hindi pa tayo tapos. Sabi nga ng Presidente, marami pang dapat gawin sa ating master plan and we are still studying kung ano pa yung the best plan to countermeasure yung flooding natin sa Metro Manila to be 100% free from flood. So we are still, kumbaga 30% lang to matapos namin yung project, 30% pa lang. So we need 100% in the future.
It might take a while and obviously we hope to get there sooner rather than later. We're gonna show everyone yung Facebook and YouTube pages that are relevant here just to be able to make sure that everyone who wants information can do get it. So you can check them out on Pasig Marikina River Channel Improvement Project for more information. Sa ngayon, 36 subscribers ang po ata. Let's damayan nga natin. Mag-100 na muna tayo dito. Alright? Small steps, small goals. But then you can check them out there. And of course, yung Facebook din nila pasigandahan as well. And we're going to try and make sure that everyone are informed, especially coming this typhoon season. Maraming salamat, Engineer. Maraming salamat, Ms. Lunas. Really appreciate you and hopefully we can talk to you again soon with more success stories when it comes to flood mitigation. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. All right, now our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua comes up next after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Eto na! Is today going to be your lucky day? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for Friday, July 4. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, malapit ka nang mapansin for promotion. Kaya naman ituloy lang ang sipag. Yellow at 4. Kay Year of the Ox naman tayo, may mga taong umaasa sa'yo. Huwag mo silang bibiguin. Pink at 5. Kay Tiger naman tayo, may magbibigay ng mentorship. Sulitin ito, Gray at 6. Rabbit naman tayo, stay hydrated lalo na kung madalas lumalabas ng bahay. Green at 3. Sa mga Year of Dragon naman, may bago kang responsibility sa trabaho. Tiwala lang sa sarili ang susi. Blue at 7. Kay Year of the Snake naman, iwasan ang overthinking. Relax lang. Hingang malalim. Exhale out. Green at 4. Ito naman, Year of the Horsey. May darating na maliit na swerte sa sugal o raffle. Silver at 2. Kay Year of the Sheep naman tayo, iwasan ang silent treatment. Magdudulot lang ito ng distance. Purple at 8. Sa mga Year of the Monkey, kumain ng prutas at vegetables para sa fiber. Beige at 6. Kay Year of the Rooster naman tayo, magandang araw to para sa small business promo. Red at 9. Kay Year of the Dog naman, kumonsulta kung ikaw ay may iniindang mga pain, back pain. Gold at 1. At kay Year of the Pig naman, may pabor si na boss sa'yo. Ipakita na deserve mo ito. Green at 5. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Master Hans Kua. Meron ka daw maliit na swerte na darating. Small but terrible.
But
Ano,
terrible.
terrible.
What's terrible?
Hindi, kasi di ba that saying, parang small but terrible. So it's gonna be small, but it's gonna be awesome.
Ba't ang violent mo?
I know, it's like small terrible. I'm gonna
take it
give
literally.
Pao black coffee na instant.
Wow,
that's
it's
my
a
gift.
black
That's your
coffee.
little gift.
I think I can go
Your
back to yung
promotion.
mga Aeropress ko, diba?
Wow. Daming time.
Basta,
Tapos na
can we
roll
all
up
agree?
7 o'clock na kung may Aeropress na yan.
Can we all agree? Can we all agree that we all look younger than we look?
That's
Ganun
true.
na.
That's true. Kanina pa siya. After Richard, he's been saying that. Guys, please comment. Let me know nga, does Pao look his age or does
Do you
he
even
look
know how
younger?
old I am?
Yes, I do.
Oh, do you think I look that
Am I
age?
gonna say it on air? No, I'm
Wag
not.
na.
Because I'm a good friend and I won't ever do that.
Yeah.
But let me know how old you guys think Pao Pao is.
Basta
Yeah, they can
millennial
type
ako.
it there on our comment
Yeah, on the
box
live.
on
Pakita,
Facebook
please, what you
or
guys
on
think.
YouTube. Go ahead, and we can check that out later.
Actually, sort us by age na lang.
Sort of.
Grabe naman sa sort of my age, sorting hat.
All right, so that is it for us this Friday, the 4th of July. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us this week.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Quick shout out to our beauty sponsors, Lift Clinic and Pino Beauty Lounge. Make today and this weekend unforgettable by choosing joy and spreading love and kindness wherever you go.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great weekend ahead and stay young, looking like Paolo and I, and especially Anne. Join us again on Monday, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's
a Beautiful Day!